Welcome back! Let's make some adorable magic potion bottles for Halloween. I'm going to start out with a white chalk pencil and outlining a wide bottle onto this Mexican beach pebble. Now it's challenging for me to get it even coming off of the bottleneck, so I did have to kind of go back and even it out, but that's where the chalk pencil comes in really handy because you can wipe it off with your finger, with a dry paper towel, damp paper towel. It comes off very easily. I'm going to add the rim of the bottle here and then the shape of a cork. As you can see, this stone has a couple little divots in it and I want to go ahead and fill those in. So I'm going to take some Dry Dex Spackle and just fill those two tiny little holes so that they're nice and smooth when we paint over the design on here. Next, I'm going to come back with that chalk pencil and I'm going to outline the area that's going to be the liquid in the bottle. So you want to leave a little bit of space from the outside of the bottle because if you think about glass, there's a certain thickness to it. So the liquid isn't right up against the side. There's a little bit of space there. Now I'm taking some Liquitex gesso to just base coat anything that's going to get filled in with paint. So it's basically the liquid and the cork. This design has a lot of possibilities. If you can think of the different kinds of shapes that a bottle could be in, you can search on Pinterest or on Google for different potion bottles and you'll get different shapes. Or if you think about like antique bottles and the different shapes that they can have, you can play around with the design even more. You'll see a couple other examples at the end of the video of different shaped bottles that I chose. Now for the liquid, I chose to use this berry metallic paint. It's kind of a nice burgundy. I guess if you're going to do a glass of wine, this would be perfect for that, but it's a pretty metallic burgundy color, and I thought that would be a fun color to put as the liquid inside of this potion bottle. Metallic paint does usually require a couple of coats so that you get a nice solid color, and also you don't see all those brush strokes in there. So I'm going to get this first coat on, and then while that's drying, I'm going to take the territorial beige kind of brown color and fill in the cork. So I'm filling in the bottom and the top, and I'm leaving that center space open because that's where the rim of the bottle will be. So it's kind of mimicking that, you wouldn't see that part because that's the rim of the bottle. Next, I'm going to come through for a second coat of the metallic berry paint. So we have a nice, pretty, shiny color. And then I'm going to take my Sakura Pigma fine line brush pen and outline the outside of the bottle. So this gives a nice fine line. There's still a little remnants of the chalk pencil there on the outline, but that's okay because once we get all the black lines on, I'm going to come back with a damp paper towel. So I'm outlining all of the glass pieces first, and then I'm going to outline the cork, and then I'm going to go back and outline the liquid itself. And all of the outlining is just adding more definition to the design. It would show with just the paint, but the black line gives it some nice definition. I'm also going to add kind of an oval here at the top of the liquid that kind of gives that appearance of liquid in the top of a vessel. Next, I'm going to take that same Sakura paint pen and add some bubbles. So larger to smaller little circles in the liquid and outside of the liquid. And this is just giving that bubbling cauldron look if you think about a magic potion. Now I'm going to take some full spectrum dragonfly glaze and a fine paintbrush and just dab that dragonfly glaze into the center of each of the bubbles. This is going to give it some sparkle and some dimension, and it'll really pop once the resin gets on top of this. This is where I mentioned I'm going to clean up those chalk lines with a damp paper towel. If the black wears off a little bit, you can always go over it again with the Sakura Pigma pen. Now I'm going to take just a black Posca paint pen and kind of outline a label that I can fill in with black paint. So it takes a couple of coats because that metallic paint is shiny, and so you want to make sure you do a couple of coats so it's nice and solid and you don't have any of the metallic paint showing through. I did a little bit of searching for labels that go on potion bottles, and some of them were kind of grotesque sounding, so I had to try and find the cute ones that I could use. And I'm going to use this Pen Touch Gold pen to write on my labels, and so this one's going to be Essence of Unicorn. Now I'm going to take this black glitter paint and just give that little label an outline with the dotting tool and the glitter paint just to give it a little bit of sparkle and pop once the resin goes on. When resin is applied to the natural stone, it will darken it up. So to prevent that on these, so my black lines will show up, I'm going to give a light coating of Mod Podge so that the stone will stay more light in color when the resin goes on. Next, I'm going to take a Posca PC1MR white paint pen and just add a few curved and straight white lines to give the appearance of shine on the glass. Now you get to see these 3 magic potion bottles with resin on them, all sparkly and ready to hide for someone to make them smile. I give you Essence of Unicorn, Witch's Brew, and Dragon Elixir. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future uploads and live streams. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by to watch. I'll see you next time. Take care.